These are some lettuce that we're just about to plant out. You'll see there's a mixture of varieties here which gives you a good continuity. And I'm just going to give them a little bit of a drink in this plastic tray. It's quite a useful tray, this. It's made from totally 100% recycled plastic. I find it quite useful for putting pots in, because it's a bright sunny day and I don't really want to water on top of the leaves, otherwise it will burn them. So they get a bit of a drink from underneath, but won't leave them in there too long. So now we better go and plant them out. So we've got the line in. You can see I like using a nice brightly coloured one, and I'm just going to, this is some seaweed meal, and I'm just going to give a quick scattering which will just give the lettuce a bit of a feed. Go right way down the line. It's always useful, I find, to make sure that you have the line parallel to a path so it doesn't look skew-if. And then the other thing I do is, when I'm planting, put my foot on the line so you don't let the line wander as you plant. As you can see, this ground's quite stony, always has done. When we first moved here, we couldn't actually get a fork in the ground, so I'm just going to pop in. This is the first one. You can see, oh look, you can see the roots coming through the base there. And there we are, just going to pop that in. Firm it in gently but firmly at the same level that it was there. And generally spacing, you've got to imagine that lettuce is going to grow about like that. So I want to plant it probably about 30 centimetres apart, approximately. As I said, this is a mixed variety of lettuce. They've done quite well, and they're all nicely healthy, and hopefully will be able to be protected against the various things that I mentioned before, partridge and pigeons particularly. Fortunately, there's enough green stuff around that they may not go for it, but they do find these things very tender and very tasty. So I will put some of my apple sticks in to try and keep them off. If there's a danger of frost, I may put a bit of fleecing over the top as well. Well, we've just planted out the lettuce, the baby lettuce, into the soil outside. And now it's time to sow some more lettuce. This one is Little Gem, which is a well-tried and tested variety, giving tight little hearts that keep well in the fridge. My grandpa always used to say that you sow a pinch of lettuce seed at a time, and then perhaps every fortnight sow another pinch. And I think he's dead right. There's a great temptation when you've got a packet just to use up the whole packet in a row, but of course you can never eat them all. At least we can't in our family. So this is Little Gem. These are ones with a dark seed. As you can see, some lettuce have a pale creamy colour seed, and having just flattened that off with my knuckles, just fits inside that P9. I'm just going to sprinkle a few, distribute a few on the top. It's very tempting to plant or sow more than you need, but of course if it's fresh seed, which this is, then you don't need it. I then cover it with some perlite, just gently on the top. And again, just press it down like that. And then the next thing is obviously to label it, otherwise you won't know what it is. So it's Little Gem, and the date, of course. Well, these are some lettuce ready to plant out. This variety is an oak leaf one called Catalonia. I've not grown this variety before. I've grown a similar one that had a reddish leaf. But you can see they've got even germination there, and they've come up well through the perlite. So we just gently push the bottom like that, and out they come. You can see the roots nicely down to the bottom there. And so what you do is just gently tease them out and separate them off into one. So there's a lovely plant there. I've got this tray here. I tend to use a 7 centimetre pot for these. Mainly because lettuce sort of grow on quite quickly, so they won't be in here that long. Again, just hold it by a leaf. What I tend to do is push it down with 4 fingers in the corner, so when you do water, the water doesn't sit amongst the heart of the lettuce there, it goes into the corner there and it just firms up the plant. So that's one there, and then a few more here. And then I'll give them a good drink of water with a watering can with a fine rose, just to get them settled in. And then they'll be ready to go out with good growing weather, perhaps another 10 days, 14 days, and then they'll be out in the ground as well. Another one here, and then I'll do the rest of them later on. So there's going to be lots of good salads to look forward to.